Hey everybody, this is Edward Jones, back with a new disassembly video. I'm doing today I'm going to do a two-part video where I take apart the receiver, I'm going to take apart the bolt and the carrier. And I'm going to do all that. I'm going to try to do it in two videos. I already covered in a past video how to take apart the front half of the shotgun. So I'm going to disassemble this. I hope you can see it. Take two halves. Put the other part aside. Now the tools you're going to need, same as before. You're going to need a good rag if your gun is dirty. A good set of punches. These are I know a lot of people use bronze punches, but these steel punches work well for me. I just say that be careful whatever type of punch you use, especially the steel ones. Make sure you don't mar the finish. Some gunsmithing screwdrivers. And I've upgraded from using a claw hammer to now using a gunsmithing hammer. And this one has the nylon head, steel head, and the brass head. So let's get down. I think in this video I'm gonna do the bolt first. So to take all that apart, first thing you want to do is cock your hammer back. You don't have to take the stock off to do all this. Also, let's get the right size screwdriver. A little bit bigger. No, that's good. Yeah, I don't have a workbench I can really film this from, so I'm having to do it on the stool. But this stool will work just well. Get that get the guide plate screw, put it off to the side. A lot of the same procedure follows from the last video I did. Well, from the first video I did on the assembly of this gun. It says it's always important to have the right size screwdrivers. Take out the carrier pin screw. There. Now you can push your bolt back. You push a slide release, this button right here. Push down the carrier. And you take the right side's punch and you push down on the hinge pin. Take that out, and your carrier should come just like that. Now, I'm going to keep it cocked for right now. Now to get the bolt out, take off the action hook, which is the action hook. You can see it right here. This hook right here. We're going to take that out by taking off the action hook screw. I hope you can see it. There we go. Right out to the side. Now to get the action hook off, doesn't take much effort. You just pull your bolt out the back, and there's your hook. And there's your strip receiver. Oh, and also I'm going to show you how to take apart the shell stops. There are these now. This is the old style. The old style has these two screws. Has one right here. One right here on the sides of the receiver, and what you do is basically you just back these out. You back those out, and the shell stops, they'll come right out. This one sounds a bit gritty, so this one it's been a bit dirty. These real small screws. First one. Let's see if I can show it to you. You can see it in the camera. First one. See, that's a shell stop. And you can't get them mixed up because they're cut differently. You also have these springs on the back. Place it to the side and do this side as well. Oh, as you can see right here, the way that screw head, see if I can get the focus. The way this screw head looks, what happened was it was the wrong screwdrivers were used, so I had to grind this down a bit just to get it to where it was able to be just to get to where it wasn't jumped. So I had to push down and turn. Yeah, this one sounds a bit dirty too. I'm gonna clean these up maybe after doing this video. Pops out. See if you see it from the video. Pop this one out too. There we go. And that one comes out. Now the newer ones, the ones I believe are marked D and E, those shotguns, they have these small screws right here and right here, and on this side they have buttons. And what those buttons would allow you to do is you're able to push, like the screws work as hinges, and you're able to push on the buttons on each side of the receiver, and it automatically dumps all the shells out of the magazine tube. So that's a cool feature. This gun doesn't have. This is the older model, so it doesn't have that feature, but the newer ones will. For those, you will need you will need a good set of, like I said before, a good set of screwdrivers. You really may need precision screwdrivers that are flat ground to get those screws out. If they're stuck deep down in there, best bet would be to let the entire receiver soak, or maybe you could just put some solvent, some very effective solvent, like maybe PD Blaster or Croil. Put it down, let it soak down the hole. Same as you would do with these if they were stuck. And let them soak for a bit. And then when they become when they loosen up, be careful when you're torquing it. You don't want to strip those screws, especially ones that are that small and that deep down in the receiver, especially if you have to replace parts. So always take caution in what you're doing. And there's your ejector screw, and there's your ejector. I guess I can take those out. I may have done that in the first video I did for this gun. Generally, if you have ejection problems, it's either the extractor or the ejector's broken. Let's get this out. This is the same hook that was on the gun when I bought it. So I don't know, that part could be 104, 105 years old, still working well. There's a strip receiver. Only thing I didn't take apart was the trigger housing group, which doesn't necessarily have to be taken apart, and this slide release spring. As you can see right here, as I push up, see if the light catch it. That's held in by a spring, by a pin spring. In order to get that up, it has to be changed if the spring breaks. There's a small hole. See if you can see it. There's a small hole right here. You can take like a safety pin and push it out, push the spring out. You put the end of the gun right there. Now, take the bolt apart. Now, one of the things that breaks on this gun, if your bolt is moving more to the right and is not locking in the battery, there's a rail right here. I may have mentioned in the first disassembly video. There's a rail right here. See it on the left-hand extractor, and that rail is what keeps it keeps the bolt in line. And that's actually a good thing. That's actually an advantage that it has, that this shotgun has over the Winchester Model 12. With Model 12, there's actually a tab on the right here on the bolt, and the problem is if that tab wears out on the Winchester Model 12, that whole bolt is pretty much done. But on this shotgun, if this tab wears out, it's as simple as replacing the left-hand extractor. I'm going to show you how to take the left-hand extractor out. One thing that I wish I did have right now is a takedown block. Make it easier to take some parts down, but this pin will work as well. I believe, yeah, it comes out this end. Get your hammer. Oh yeah, I'm going to show you right there. Hope the camera can focus. There's a pin right there that holds the left-hand extractor in place. I'm going to drive that out. Actually, let me use a screwdriver. There's a tool called the takedown block, which I do recommend getting. Probably high time I got one myself. But I've been able to take this gun apart without having to use that. So hold it in place. And there we go, starting to drive it out. See that? Now you don't want to push it all the way out unless you absolutely have to. And now the extractor comes out like that. You see there's a groove inside, and I got some grease in there. It's kind of dirty, but it's not to where it would affect performance. Another issue that you may face if you have weak ejection, your extractor, your left-hand extractor, could be in bad shape. The Numeric arms. This one is a reorder from Numeric arms because the original left-hand extractor for this gun broke several years ago, and I had bolt issues, but I replaced the extractor. Now this is the second one I got from Numeric arms. The first one I bought, you have to kind of fit the extractor to this gun. One of the issues you may run into is that the hook right here has to be ground. You'll make sure this is rounded off at the top, but also make sure that this hook isn't too sharp to where it won't hold the shell, and make sure it's not too blunt that it won't let go of the shell, because that's happened to me in the past. Put that to the side. Next thing, see, is the right-hand extractor. It's a right-hand extractor. Get a small screwdriver tool. This generally doesn't have to be taken out, but for this video, I'll see if I can get this one out. Hold the spring down, and there we go. It comes out, but put your finger over where the plunger spring would be. You can just pull out. There's your extractor. There's your plunger. And there's your plunger spring. Now, next part that can be taken out of this gun is the firing pin. Actually, I'd rather call it a firing nail because this firing pin is so huge. First, you want to do, there's a pin right here that can be driven out. So, like before. Actually, I got a better idea. Place. Try to give it a few taps. Make sure it's right side. Let me try another way, because this bolt is pretty. It's pretty hard to balance. Get this thing balanced properly. I think I got it going right there. Yep. See, you're starting to punch, starting to move out a bit. That's driven out. Well, driven out is see, I can get out a little further than that. There we go. And that one that can stay, that can stay partially in. Then you want to take your, get another flathead screwdriver. That's some trash right there. And you're gonna take out this screw that holds the it's like a firing pin strut, I believe it's called. So many various names for these parts. That one fits that. You're gonna screw this. You keep your hand like this on the bolt. You feel that actually no, it's a firing pin release. You can feel that the spring has pushed the firing pin release out. Put that to the side. Then take the firing pin. There we go. There, like I said, this isn't like a fire. It looks like a nail, almost like a spike. But this is the original firing pin for this gun. This part's 104 years old. The gun was made in 1904, so no, actually made in 1909. So this gun's actually now about 105 years old. You can see how beefy this firing pin is. This is a design from 1897, so you tell that Browning wasn't playing around when he designed this gun. So put that to the side, and there's also a small spring right here that I'm not gonna mess with. Is right down there. You can probably see it from the camera. And generally, if you take the gun apart this far, there's that screw that helped the firing pin release in place. If you gotten this far with taking apart the gun, you can just spray this whole part down with some CLP or let it soak in simple green, and then wipe it off, oil it, grease it rather. There's some parts in here that may be better if you grease it, and then you're good to go. And that's the bolt. It's pretty much as far as you need to go as far as taking apart a lot of the bolt. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to take apart the carrier, which is also the locking block. It's a bit more challenging. I'm actually going to have to recharge my batteries from my camera because this is a bit more involved. But I hope this video was informative for you. I'm Edward Jones. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. And you have a nice day.